Welcome to In the Spotlight with Amy Scruggs, where we feature great artists, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and, well, anyone that should have that moment to share their story in the spotlight. Welcome to In the Spotlight. We have a great episode here for you with a special treat. I have Bluegrass artist on the RBR Entertainment label, Ben James, and he's done some amazing things, has incredible music, and we're going to hear his background and share some exciting things that he's got coming up. Ben, it's so great to have you with us today.
I'm excited to be here. How are you?
I am good, thank you. We might hear some background stuff, but we're going with it. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
No dull moments on In the Spotlight. I'm a fan. Your music and your style is really outstanding, and I want to dive into a little bit more and learn about you, and so do our listeners. When did this start for you? Did you just wake up as a 2-year-old with instruments in your hand? Let's talk about music if we can.
No, so I would say gospel music is a huge part of my family, and I grew up a son of a pastor and a really good church, and there's a lot of talented people in that church that I grew up with, and we always just had quartet music, like the Cathedrals, Gold City, and stuff like that. Listened to a lot of bluegrass, but mainly as a young kid, I remember riding to school and listening to a lot of old quartet stuff, and my dad taught me how to sing that style of music. And I just remember one day I could hear harmony as a little kid, and then just went with it, and then through the years I've kind of honed in on that. But that's mainly where it started, is car rides with dad and mom too, and everyone in my family, it's either plays or sings. But I just grew up singing the quartet style, just very old traditional style music. Was always a fan of bluegrass, and I didn't really get into bluegrass until later in life. I took some guitar lessons from a bluegrass guy, Ben Cockman, as a young kid, but I've always loved singing bluegrass, and I didn't really know where I would end up in a career, and here we are in bluegrass, and I love it, and I wouldn't change anything. But yeah, I mean, I was even in chorus in high school and stuff, so I've done I grew up singing and learning a lot of different styles, and I'm thankful for that, because all of that stuff just kind of bleeds in with each other, and you can take something from each style of music and compare it and use it in some way, shape, or form.
I totally agree. And I love that you brought up the fact that you were singing harmonies as a kid. I was the same way, where I could just hear all the different notes. And bluegrass kind of really standing out, and you choosing that for your full time in your career. What has that transition been like for you, to take music from being something that you loved and all influences to saying, hey, this is what I'm going to do now? When did you start going out there and really doing it in a big way as an artist?
So I went to college. I went to Appalachian State, and I actually got a degree in risk management and insurance. And I love math. I love statistics, and I thought I didn't really a music career and dream, just it seemed so far fetched. But right after college, I took a job working in insurance, and I didn't really like being at a desk all the time. And I thought, well, you know what? Let's go try it. So on all of my off time, and I spent a lot of time in Nashville just trying to make connections. And one day I was at Hilltop Studio and met Jimmy Fortune, and he was just one of my tenor singing heroes. And we went down to the Station Inn that night, and he brought me up on stage. I sung the last song with him and Doyle Lawson, who I was previously with before he retired. Someone in the crowd, a couple people in the crowd, told Doyle Lawson about me. That was on a Wednesday night, I believe. Yes. And Saturday, I took the job with him. And so there it was in full swing, going from no music career, not really having much hope there, to just having a job in 3 days. And that's a lot of how this business works, is how I've learned. It's not really, everyone just thinks you're a good singer, go to Nashville and you just automatically make it. But there's so much more that goes into it. It does not
work that way.
No, it takes years and years to get a lot of ground, any ground, it seems like. So, yep, that's it. And the thing about the music business, let's see, how does that transition? It makes me really tired. I love that because the hour and a half you're on stage is not work. Because if you're doing that all the time, you just get oiled like a machine, and it
Oh
just
yeah,
becomes
it's a rush.
not. Yeah,
It's an
yeah, and
adrenaline. It takes a while to
mhm.
calm down after a show. It's always kind
Yep,
of that after that you
that's it.
feel it.
Yeah. Well, that's not the work part to me. That's the
Right.
fun part. The work part is,
It's the
you
reward
know,
for all the work.
yeah, yep. But yeah, I get paid to ride a bus, and sometimes we stop and sing. That's how you can put it.
When you're on the bus and when you're in between shows, do you write your own music? And what's that process
I
like
do.
during the day? Because you're right. It's the reward, and that fun part is when we're on the
Hmm.
stage, putting that writing
Right.
together. Do you have to go hide in a cave? Do you write on the bus? Do you need to be inspired and take 3 months off? What's that process like for you?
It's really random with me. I can be anywhere doing anything, and most of the time I have to be by myself because I have a bit of ADD. But I could be fishing or out in the woods or golfing, and I'll just get an idea. And most of the time, it happens really fast. I'm not the type of person to just look at a blank sheet of paper and just say, "Okay, I'm going to write a song." And I can do that, but it's just not my best work.
What is the inspiration for you? Do you feel it come on in the middle of the night? You got to have that notebook by the bed when you're out in the quiet. Do you tend to write stuff from your own history and your own story, or is it hearing others people's story, or is it just randomness that comes out that has you create a song? What do you tend to go to?
A little bit of both. It's I could say it's random, but I think I would say I'm a better slow emotional writer than like upbeat and goofy and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, some songs have came from personal experience and definitely just other random things that I've came across and wrote about. So
What's the connection like with your fans when you are doing the live music? Because I'm sure there's probably songs that are very dear to you that maybe it's not the same with the fans, or they have certain ones that they love. You're like, that one, I wouldn't have seen that coming. How is that
mhm.
relationship between your music and the fans interlocked?
I currently tour with Daly and Vincent right now, and they're a bluegrass country act, and they have some really good fans, and uh, you see some of their fans are very diehard, and you will see them all across the country and requesting the same song. So shout out to them for. I mean, they have to. At least we get a bus. A lot of people, those people, just drive in a car for hours to come see us, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, they've got some great fans.
So, what's the recording process like for you when you
I
first
love it.
live show? How was it for you the first time you were in a big studio, and what do you enjoy about that recording process? Because they know it's different for everybody.
Right. I love to go to the studio and create and sing. I probably love that more than anything. I love live music too, and I love performing to a live crowd, but I really love the studio. I've told people sometimes if I could just get paid to just wake up and go to the studio and sing every day, I would just have it made. Um, but I remember the first time I ever got to do that, and it was actually here in North Carolina, and that was such a fun process because I didn't understand how it worked, and now I do. And um, I try not to take my career for granted because I know people would kill to have the job that I have, and it's just so much fun. I think if I don't think I'll ever get tired of it, but when I do, I don't know if I ever will. Actually, I actually love it that much. So
I don't think you will. I
every
don't think it's
yeah,
possible.
right. Every day is a new adventure with it because it's not repetitious. It's so different. There's so many challenges in the music business, and I love live music, but man, I do love studio work too. Got a lot of that coming up too. So
Yeah, let's talk about your studio work. Let's talk about your past projects and your favorite songs, and then also what you have coming up.
yeah, so I actually this album that I'm doing with RBR is the first solo album that I am doing at all. I was on an album with Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver called Roundtable. And that was a fun process, but I am super stoked about this album with RBR. We
You're all
released a
excited about
single.
this one. I can't wait to hear
I'm
it.
excited. We're actually getting ready to track it in the next few weeks and got some special guests that can't say yet. I can't tell you who they are yet, but I think people are gonna love who somehow, some way we got to play on this record, and I'm so excited. It's a dream, and it's some of the people who are going to be on this album. It's a dream to record with them, and I just pinch me. It doesn't even seem real.
Wait a minute. I checked my calendar. Hold on. Wait. Okay. No, I'm going to make the next one. What are some of the teasers you can give us as far as the songs that you've got on this next project coming up? All right. What can we look for that?
There's a handful, 4 or 5 original songs, a couple that I've written, a couple that some of my friends have written that I've loved and I've saved, and there's a few actually country songs that I pulled from way back and kind of making them my own style that, I've always thought, man, that could be bluegrass. And my producer, Josh Swift, he's absolutely killer at arranging music. And he has got such an ear for that style or that kind of stuff. And he is blessed with being able to take something so just basic and turning it into this humongous master piece of art. And I am not as blessed in that area. I can't, I have a creative side because I write and stuff, but when it comes to instrumentation and stuff like that, I'm stoked because, man, I've got not just a good friend, but one of the best in Nashville, one of the best in the business as far as I'm concerned. When it comes to engineering and just being a producer, he is amazing. And, to have him be kind of the guardian and the creator side on this album is just so exciting. I can't wait for people to hear it.
And the bonds that are created, don't you feel like you've made like a lifelong bond working with someone and watching something that is so special to you, that's a part of your soul and your being, come to life in a way that you probably didn't even visualize?
Right. Yep. And it's amazing. I get impatient with the music business sometimes, and I have to sit back and remind myself just to enjoy the journey, because these are all stories I'll get to tell my grandkids one day. And I'm not in the music business for fame or notoriety. I just want to do what I love and leave a legacy and I just want to make timeless music for a few years and then just chill at home in the woods.
That's what makes you such a great artist. I can relate to that.
Yeah, I am very introverted. I don't seem that way on stage, but I am. When I'm at home, I'm a recluse.
That's common, actually. I've heard from a lot of artists that's the case, and it's true because you put so much out there on stage, and you're putting on that persona. It's the music you love coming out. The fans are singing it back to you. There's that beautiful moment, but then once you're done and you kind of go within, it's like, ooh, I need to decompress, and that's when you want to have that time, like you said, out fishing or doing what you love doing, and just having that reflection. I think it's really important that we take that time to go in and then go back out, and it's what makes you such a great stage performer and such a great musician and a great artist, and that's why your fans love you so much. You also had a great opportunity to be a part of this upcoming project coming out for the holidays, which is a Christmas album that RBR did. Your song is so much fun. I would love for you to share the song that you contributed to that and just tell a little bit of why you chose it and what the arrangement is like.
Yeah. So the song is Christmas in Dixie, and I have always loved that song. It's if you're not home and you hear that song on the radio during the Christmas season, you just want to be home. It's just, and I love Alabama, but we took it in a little different style. It's a little more upbeat. It's got kind of like a Ricky Skaggs Highway 40 blues feel to it. But man, I love that song. We actually got to open up for Alabama in Salt Lake City about a month ago, and I'm thrilled, man. I love Christmas music, and I hope one day to record my own Christmas album. But I'm super stoked. The band on this song is just amazing.
Fun. So it is incredible. For everybody watching and listening to this right now, you have to get this album, and you're gonna love this song. I've heard it. It's just one that you want to hear over and over and over again. I'm gonna listen to it in July. It's really incredible.
Thank you.
Ben, what are you looking forward to the most ahead? I know that your heart is just in music. Do you see yourself still enjoying it, writing music until you're an old man and just enjoying the blessing what music does for us?
I do. And, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world now about live music, but hopefully we can, as a whole, we can get back on our feet and live music can get to where it once was. And, who knows how long I'll do it. I love it. I'm living a dream right now. But like I said, my goal is just to leave a legacy and make timeless music for a while and see how far we can go with it. I mean, I love to work hard at this. This is my work and this is my passion. And, I've got an all afternoon to get ready for this recording that we're going to start doing for the album. But yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I'll do it for a long time.
I have a pretty good feeling that you will. And we are so thankful for the work that you've put out there and the music. Ben, such an honor to have you with us today. Congrats on all your success. And really, when can we have the new album? When's it out? What's
projecting late February, early March of 2023. So I think there'll be one more single and then the entire album. And
where can our fans all reach out to you and find you?
Ben James Official on Facebook, and I believe it's Ben James Music on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being with us today here on In the Spotlight.
Thank you for listening to In the Spotlight podcast. For more information, you can go to amyscruggsmedia.com and make sure and follow on social media at Amy Scruggs Media.